I'll be honest, man, at this point in my life, I got a lot of worries and concerns, man. Yes, worries and concerns. My best friend just came home from the penitentiary, right? I'm glad that's funny. But yeah, so he came home from the penitentiary. He did 2 years in the joint, right? Now before he went in, he had like the straight back braids with the beads and aluminum foil on the end. And when he came home, I was like surprised because he still had his braids. And I was like, you still got your braids, which means that it was another dude in jail braiding his hair. And that's a major man law violation, you know what I mean? But another dude is not supposed to be braiding another dude's hair, you know what I mean? My sister braided hair growing up, and I understand what the braid situation is like. You know, let me break it down to you, okay? The braider's primary responsibility is to create enough space in this region here for the braid to come in. And another dude not supposed to be in this region, you know. It just don't seem right, the dude just excited, just. Back erect, lips poked out. You tender-headed. You better not be tender-headed. Cause I'm gonna put some black beads with aluminum foil on your hair. Not gonna let no dude braid my hair, man. But that was my best friend. I didn't want to think he was, you know, suspect. I didn't want to think that. But a situation happened the next day that let me know something wasn't right. We're in the car riding together, and I'm in the middle of a text message, right? And he played a song that you're not supposed to play with another dude in the car, like R&B music. You know, R&B is off limits with two dudes in the car. But I'm like mid-text, and all of a sudden I heard. And he just started talking like. You know, when I was locked up, man, it was your letters that got me through, dog. Thinking about all the time that we spent when we was little kids, man. You my dude. And I'm texting like, yeah, man, you my dude too. He was like, no, I don't think you understand what I'm saying, man. Remember when we used to play football growing up? You know I was always faster than you. But I used to let you tackle me. And that's when I was like, hold on, what? Where's this music coming from? And where's your shirt at? And how did you get candles on the dashboard? I started feeling uncomfortable, man. I was like Trey on Boys in the Hood, like, yo, Doe, let me out, man. This election, the disrespect has to stop, okay? You know what I mean? We're not even talking about politics. We're just talking about respect for the office. You know what I mean? Because no other president in the history of presidents has been openly disrespected like President Obama has. Wherever you fall politically, you know, that's like a truth. Because back in May, I think this was the worst, when they was like, we don't think that he was born in the United States. I want to see his birth certificate. Remember that? Yeah. That was some bullcrap, because I'm going to be honest, I was like, well, if y'all want to see his birth certificate, dang it, I gotta see George Bush's high school diploma, because ain't no way that man graduated, dog. You know. 8 years, you just saying stumble after stumble. Nah. You know, maybe he did graduate. I just don't think he graduated on time. You know, it was that all-city summer-wide graduation, you know. They got different colored cap and gowns on. President Obama wouldn't even be like #1 on my list of we need to see your birth certificate. I think my clear-cut #1 is definitely Wendy Williams. I don't know about you, but Wendy Williams is a little stout, you know. She's a bit linebackerish. The Bengals should draft her. Put her right next to Ray Maua him. Just motion, check her. Wendy is, she's very stout, man, for real. But at first, the disrespect just was with President Obama. They didn't mess with the family, you know. And you know, Michelle, her whole thing is child health and wellness, you know. So one politician said on TV that, how is she gonna keep children healthy when she has a large posterior? A large posterior? That ain't even a word that we use to describe. You know what I mean? You know that was a white dude who said that. You know, it ain't even a word. But the funny thing about it, like, he said that like he just realized that black women is blessed in that area. When, that's common knowledge, you know. You go back to the very first president, George Washington. You know, old George knew that. I don't know if y'all know, but George Washington was notorious for messing with them slaves. George wasn't playing. He used to knock them down, man. George used to, yes. That is how we got light-skinned sisters like right here. Oh, real, man. Old George was not playing, man. But that's the journal that I want to see. You know, like the first time George looked out the window and seen a sister that was like, bang, oh, you know. That is the journal that I want to see. In the year of our Lord, 1754, as I gazed out the window, my eyes fell upon a Negro wench with at first appeared to have a large bump upon her lower back. Upon further review, I realized that it was her backside. It was not flat like my wife Catherine's. I wonder if the combinations of chitterlings and cornbread that we feed them I believe the field workers call it a badonkadonk. And so shall I. May of 1755. It's been a year since my last journal entry, and I must admit I've grown quite fond of the badonkadonks. I must say that in that time, the baby mama drama has increased. It is a far more daunting task to refrain from that sweet nectar, that blackberry pie, My lord, I must have gained composure of myself. It seems as if I've gone black and it is impossible to go back. Confused and bewildered. George Washington. Gotta know your history though, man. Gotta know your history. I did some research recently, and I'm gonna be honest, man. It was unsettling. I was disappointed. Now you know, two people that are famous from Dayton are the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur Wright. Now you know we know that they're famous for first in flight and creating or making the airplane. Did some research, and I'll be honest, man. You know, I really don't think that they was the first ones to go up in the plane. I mean, I think they definitely made it. You can't tell me late 1800s they was the first ones to go up in the prototype? Nah, man. I think it was like this. Look at it, Orville. It is the summation of our life's work. Our blood, sweat, and tears right before our very eyes. Yes, 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 brother, and I'm going to take it for a spin. Are you crazy? We could perish and we'd never go down in history together. What is it that you suggested? It seems as if we need a test subject. Him there, what is his name? You there, what is your name, sir? Henry! I've been working for y'all for a long time now. Good, Henry. Good chap. Have you ever been in an aircraft? No, you haven't, because we just made it. All right, Henry, climb up that there ladder. And put this helmet on, like so. All right, Henry, I'm gonna spin down on this propeller, and I want you to pull back on that lever. And that's how the first brother ended up in Cleveland. Henry was not playing. He was about to get up out of Dayton. Henry, come back! That was the first stereo in a moving vehicle.